Ano ang module ni admin? Present ni admin, so may user ka, anong sura sa pilihan ni user? They will have different access. Okay? They will have different functionalities. Ang common functionalities, no need to present. Okay? Now, next. We can also present it in the form of sequential order from the beginning up to the end. Especially if you are into games. Pag-log in, menu, configure, start the game, you play the game, major functionalities in the game. So you can start with the initial screen, you play the game, the highlights of the game, how the game will end, either you win or you lose, the points that you garner, how you pick the score, how you quit the game, and how you go back to the main screen, something like that. Okay? So general. In games, you don't need to present every screen that you have. Infinite stuff. Okay? Only a representative screen. This is the skirmish, the main part. This is where you can get the high points. This is where you can get bonuses. Okay? So, come up with a representation of all stages of your game as much as possible. Okay. Another approach is using the IPOS structure. Input modules, another input modules, input screen. Next, output screen. Okay? If you have some screens which shows processing and the like, you can also present it there. Storage-wise, if you're going to save, how does it look like if you're going to look at your storage structure? Okay? So IPOS can also be one approach. Now, you can come up with sections or subsections rather. 4.4, you can have 4.4.1, for the admin, 4.4.2, for your user, 4.4.3, maybe for the staff, and so on and so forth. Okay? So it's up to you how you will going to present it. The only important part here, there is some kind of structure or some kind of order that is being followed. Hindi na silikot, ano lang makita, yung scale, up-block nyo lang sa kanan. Nagkakit ka na sa puno, naglabot ka sa punta, nagbalik ka sa tunga. Okay? So come up with some kind of an order in presenting your GUI. Okay? Now, at this point, 4.4, I will not be expecting you na kompleto ang inyong chapter 4, especially 4.4, up to prelim. Part of your 4.4 will still change. Okay? Because you're still in the implementation stage. But by midterm, your 4.4 should be finalized already. 4.5 and 4.6, wala lang anay for prelim, this will be submitted for midterm. Because your system architectural design needs to wait for you to finish your system before you can come up with its interconnectivity. So that you will see the full structure of your system. Physical environment resources refers to the hardware, software, peopleware, capabilities, requirements that you will have. So, hindi ka lang na mga na. Okay? So, questions with 4.4. Okay. Basta 4.4 may GUI yan. Okay? I would even suggest that for your second system flow presentation, second yung demo, your 4.4 is partially ready. So that I can see the sequence in your chapter 4.4. At the same time, you're presenting to me your system flow. Demo nyo na. Okay? So, flow and 4.4. Okay, anyway, paper 4, wala ka na functionality. Picture na natin. Okay? And for prelim, not much functionality. Midterm kung makita functionality. Pag may functionality sa prelim, bonus na. Okay? Other questions, concerns? Okay. I will talk a little bit about chapter 5. Your chapter 5 is basically divided into two major sections. Wala ko sa notes ipakita. Okay? You will have design issues and implementation issues. So that we can just stay ahead. So that we will be able to discuss this next time. Design issues are issues which affected your system design, which means there is no coding involved. Pag-present sa design ng GUI, pag-design ng kasunod ng system flow, design as to your ERD, DFD, or your database structure, design also when a particular module comes in and when a particular module produces the result, design as to your algorithm, what is the role of your algorithm. Just take note, no coding yet. Okay? When you're making or preparing all of these things, where there are problems encountered, where there are delays, issues, disagreement probably with group members as to how it can be implemented, okay? That is part of your design issues. I would like you to list down as many as you can. Although per requirement, I will only be asking the top 3 or the major 3 items, 3 issues that cause some delays with your work. Okay? Lista lang anay so that we can discuss. Next, for the second part of your chapter 5 implementation issues. So if you haven't started work with coding, while you are doing your coding, while you are converting your design into code, pag-convert nyo sa GUI into code, pag-convert nyo sa algorithm nyo into code, pag-convert sa database into code, were there any problems, obstacles, delays, concerns that you encountered? If there is any, list that. Now, what kind of problems am I referring to? When I translate this design into code, then eventually you decided that, oh, wait a minute, I don't know how to convert, I don't know how to generate a code for this. Can we redesign para matatlo ang code? Something like that. That is a problem, okay, in terms of implementation. For those who need to connect 2 systems, 2 computers, and you have problems connecting them, that's also a concern. Okay? For those who need to submit results to maybe a server, nagulat na nasunod sa server, that's also a problem. If there is a character on screen, nasunod sa ilog from point A to point B, nalakat sa C, or nag-ikit-ikit niya lakat na nahubog, that's also a concern or a problem. Okay? If you have some kind of a trivia or a quiz, like answer po, tanan na answer A, answeran ko man tanan A, nakulang 1 point. Okay? So there may be something wrong with the scoring, with the checking, or with whatever implementation that you have. Okay? Basta coding na, that's a separate set of issues. Lista lang anay. Again, we will only consider the top 3. Now, if you'd like to have more, well and good. Now, why are issues necessary or important? During your defense, if something goes wrong with your presentation, and that kind of problem has been noted in your in chapter 5, your issues, then you may have more or less already answered possible questions by the panelists. I-ask na document pinadaan ang inyong concerns or problems. But if there is something wrong with your presentation, you know that there is an issue, but you did not include it in your documentation, expect naman from the panelists. What happened? Why is it doing like that? Okay? Why is the score kulang isa? Why is it na A tanan ang answer? If A ko man tanan, kulang 1 point. Why is it na A ang answer? In C ko tanan na perfect magyapon. Okay? So, you should have answered these concerns already. Okay? So, kung hindi nila ma-solve, ibutang ginasa sa chapter 5, because part of chapter 5 presents how you plan to approach it and whether you really have solved that problem or not. Okay? Nando yung mag-decide si panelist if you're going to give you an extension or not. Okay? So again, be honest enough, be open enough to present their concerns and problems. Okay. So, I will end up to that part. Okay? We will be discussing more up to chapter 5 next week. Ang details of chapter 5 as to how you are going to present it. Okay? Questions, concerns? I'm expecting your thesis schedule to begin by 21, that's tomorrow. Chapter 1, there are 12 so far, so maybe